Hi, it's Jenny from Success Empowerment. I'm so glad you're joining us this week in our Leadership Essentials series. This week we're talking about leaders are creative. So sometimes this is a little bit counterintuitive to what we think about when we think of leadership. I know for myself, I tend to think of creativity being separate and different from leadership. I think of creativity as being this mystical ability that some people possess and that others just don't. And that's okay because everybody's good at different things, but it doesn't always seem intuitive to me that those two things to go together. And I think in different situations, creativity is applied differently depending on the kind of business you're in and the kind of industry that you're in and the kind of team that you work with. But there is one thing that I've noticed in my career that seems to be consistent throughout, where we can all apply creativity. And that's when we face challenges and we're trying to solve problems. As we've discussed before, oftentimes as leaders, we are tasked and challenged to deliver projects, results, outcomes. We don't always have the most resources, time, money, ideal circumstances that we would like in order to do the very best job that we feel we could do. I find for myself, that's when I can get pretty creative to figure out how we can approach things a little bit differently, how we can lean on different people's advice and expertise and broaden the conversation to see if there's ways to do things that can make our lives easier and be able to deliver on what we need to deliver. So one thing you may not know about me is that in my free time, I am a home chef and I love to cook. Anyone who loves to cook will know that there's always going to be a point in our cooking journey where we are fully into a recipe and we realize we're missing something. So this is a time where I have to get creative as a home chef. I don't have exactly what I need, but I still need to get this delivered and I still want to make this feast, dinner, meal, whatever the case is. And so I think that that's a good opportunity for me to make the link between my hobby self and my business self and figure out, you know what, we don't always have the perfect circumstances. That's just not how life works. But sometimes we can be creative. And if you've ever tried this at home, you'll know that sometimes when we substitute something in a recipe, it comes out better than we might have expected. Or maybe even better than it would have if we had done it the prescribed way. So when we look at how we approach business, think about problems in ways that if we approach it differently, if we're creative and think a little bit outside of the box, for lack of a better, less well-used term, maybe we're going to come up with an even better result. So to exercise your creative muscles, you do not have to be a brilliant artist. Congratulations if you are. But you do need to think, how can I do things a little bit differently? How can I pull together what I've got to get what I'd like? And not worry too much about the old prescribed ways of always doing things. When we're courageous and we're adventurous and we're open to change, we're open to new results. Thank you so much.